Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. AB here along with Jack. We are
Hey,
the Stream Catchers. Welcome back, folks. Jack, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Feeling good, feeling great. Ready to talk chapter 4 of the Book of
Me
Boba
too.
Fett. Long episode, lots to dive into, I think. You ready to just dive right in?
Give me those quick hits.
Quick hits. All right, folks. So we start off in the past. Boba's chilling in the desert. He sees a blinding light and hears a bang. So he goes to check it out, and it is Fennec. She has a gunshot wound in her stomach. He takes her to a local shop where her stomach is repaired with cybernetics. When she comes to, she agrees to help him get his ship back from Jabba's palace. They eventually get it out, and after quickly killing the Nitko biker gang from the last episode, she agrees to stay with Boba Fett. We come back to the present day. Boba goes to the cantina and sees Chrysanthemum take out a bunch of patrons. Boba then offers BK some work. Back at Boba's palace, Boba sits with Jabba's old captains to come to an agreement for them to stay neutral in the upcoming Pike War. And then Boba and Fennec agree they'll need hired help to fight the Pikes. And we fade to credits as Mando's theme plays in the background.
Okay, no,
Jack,
we so we
what?
talked
Hold
about it
on.
right before we What's up?
Let's take it one step at a time, buddy. What did you think of the episode? How did you like it?
I freaking loved it. It was so good. Every second of it was amazing. This
Yeah, man.
show has exceeded my expectations, man. It's very interesting. Each scene is memorable. Each scene has powerful dialogue. Like this show's been great. And I feel like a broken record saying that every episode is the best one, but I'm thinking about it. I think this one tops the last, right? What do you think?
I did like it. It sounds like you might have liked it a little bit more than I did.
Okay.
I did enjoy it. It was a long episode. I'm enjoying the longer episodes.
Mhm.
They did a really good job of catching us up from what we've known, along with him meeting Fennec and kind of getting us to the present day. They've done a really
Mhm.
good job at telling all that story and filling in the blanks. I don't know how necessary all that has been, but it has been enjoyable to watch, and they've done it in a way that is entertaining.
Mhm.
Just I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm a little picky. Maybe I'm just a little down on Star Wars compared to you, but
Well,
I I will say the episode itself was good, and I am still intrigued to see where they go with the present day stuff.
so even if you're not sure if it's necessary or not, like at least they're getting through stuff really quickly. Like they're moving at a
Yeah,
really fair pace in both timelines, which I think is really cool. I think that they're covering more ground probably in the past just to get us caught up. Um, but also they've kind of alternated which timeline gets more screen time each
yes.
episode. I think the first one was kind of more about the let's see, it would have been the present past, right? So
Kind of. I mean, I know that episode 3 was when they spent the most time on the present. Otherwise, it's been,
right,
yeah, sort of present, past. Or I feel like first episode started off,
present. It was more
was it?
present, right?
No, it starts off where he's emerging from the Sarlacc pit. I feel like
Right,
it was kind of,
right.
I feel like it was a bit more past than present. Episode 2 might have been, episode 2 was the one where they hijacked the train. So that was definitely more time in the past. And then episode
Yeah.
3 was more time spent in the present. So here, I would,
Yeah, I
this is
think it's
definitely more of a past
present past,
episode.
present past. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Lots of bouncing back and forth. I want to ask what you think. Do you think this is the last we see of past stuff?
no, no, I don't. I think that they need to. I think they're going to go off world in the past. I don't think all their time's going to be on Tatooine. I
Okay. I
um
was just,
I don't know
I
where
was
they're
just
going to go.
asking.
I mean, their only breadcrumb is to find a back to tank, right? Like I don't know where that's going to lead them.
Yeah. Well, so it would seem that he's sort of given up for now on finding his armor, right? He has that spot where he actually goes into the Sarlacc pit. Really fun scene of them
Great
sort of
scene.
going face to face with the Sarlacc pit. Really fun
Yeah.
scene. I only ask because when he pops out of the back of the tank, the robot says, "Your healing has been completed,"
Yeah.
which is the first time that the thing has said that. And also, right before they come back to the present, you see him getting the armor and shooting Bib Fortuna. And it almost just implies that, hey, we're done with this. We're going to just focus on the present now. I just
That's a
don't
good point that
know.
I hadn't thought of, actually.
Yeah, I just don't know what else there
Because
is to
usually
explore there.
when they're just taking those little snippets, when they're not giving us full scenes, it's usually just traumatic experiences. But this was
Yeah,
just him taking his throne. So
yeah.
maybe that could signify them catching the past timeline up to the present. I didn't think of it that way, but maybe.
It seems like they sort of teased some Pike stuff in the past that would connect to
Hmm.
present stuff, which they just didn't touch on. So it leads me to believe that we're not done. But I was a
Hmm.
little thrown off by the way that they left that off here on this episode.
Yeah, I feel like maybe we need one more scene between Boba and the Pikes in the
Something I agree.
past to
We,
leave them with some really bad blood. I guess. I mean, it's not like they're buddy now, but I don't
I
know.
could see them doing episode 5 full on in the present, and they come back to episode 6. Maybe they do something in the past that ties us into this Pike War that we're sort of jumping into. Who knows though? I don't. I have no idea. It was just something I thought was
Yeah, I
possible
mean,
that we might not see more.
I've been entertained by the show so far so much that I trust them. If they want to do a full episode in the present, screw it, it's time. Let's do it.
I agree. Yeah, we have 3 episodes left, so I'll be curious to see how they handle that to close it
Yeah.
out. Um, let's talk. Let's spend a little time on Fennec.
Okay.
So
She gets a pretty interesting kill on the Sarlacc.
she does.
that was
She
that
does.
was awesome. That was a seismic blast, seismic shot. What do they call those? From that was in episode 2, right?
It
Django used
was.
him
Yeah.
against Obi-Wan's X-wing, right? Not X-wing, maybe A-wing. I can't remember what ship he was in at the time, but yeah, those
It's
seismic charges
it's the one that it goes into the circle and that takes him in
for warp
space, but then
speed.
he
Yeah.
undocks. Yeah. Yeah, she was really great in this episode. What I'm specifically wanting to talk about is the past stuff. Did
Okay.
you catch what time all this is happening?
What time all this is happening? Well, he said, I remember a line he said when I was in the Sarlacc pit all those years ago. So we know that the past timeline is at least 2, maybe 3 years after Jedi. Is that not what you're talking about?
That's not what I'm talking about, although I do think that it's about 5 years after Jedi.
Okay.
I didn't think that he was in the pit that long, but
Hmm.
this is happening
All those years ago.
during.
I think he was with the Tuscans for a longer time than we think.
He was. I think I agree. What I'm talking about here,
Hmm.
this is all happening during episode 5 of The Mandalorian.
Okay. Catch me up.
So
Take me on a trip.
I had to look this up because
Hmm.
I had not caught this at all. If we rewind to episode 5 of The Mandalorian, we're talking season 1 here.
Hmm.
He At this point he knows the Empire is after Grogu, and the episode opens up. He's flying through space. There's a bounty hunter chasing him. It damages his ship, so he has to land on Tatooine. So his ship is getting fixed, and what's her name? Peli Mato, that
I know who you're
kind
talking
of
about.
bushy haired. She
Hmm.
watches Baby Yoda while he goes off. So he goes to the cantina in Mos Eisley. He finds the other bounty hunter. That bounty hunter has to find none other than Fennec Shand,
Hmm.
and Mando agrees to help him kill Fennec in exchange for the credits, so that this other bounty
So he can
hunter
fix his ship.
can't no, so that the other bounty hunter can enter the bounty hunters guild. So during
Okay.
the episode, they
Oh
go into the desert.
yeah.
They hold on.
Yeah.
Let me for everyone else. So they all go to. So those two go to the desert.
Hmm.
They encounter Fennec. Mando shows up a light to blind her,
Hmm.
and then the other bounty hunter shoots Fennec in the gut. And
Hmm.
then the episode ends or leaves us on a bit of a cliffhanger as 2 feet are walking up to Fennec to tend to her, and that never gets resolved in Mandalorian. That's Boba Fett, and that's where this episode picks up.
I love it. I love it.
It's
I'm
that
so mad at
that's
myself for not noticing, but that's the kind of attention to detail that I love about these kind of, big Marvel Star Wars franchises. That, yeah, I mean, that's for the diehards, right?
another really cool little Easter egg was from the last episode. Do you remember the part where they do go in the past and you see Boba walking, or maybe he's riding the bantha past the stormtrooper helmets on the sticks?
Yes. Those were from the first episode of Mando, right?
Right, but if you look in the background, who do you see walking down on the street? Peli Mato
No
in the
kidding.
background.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
after.
god.
That's like either right after or right before she meets up with Mando.
Wow. That's insane. That the
Isn't that
detail.
nuts?
Wow. I'm
Yeah,
impressed. I'm impressed. That's so cool.
yeah. So I thought that was a lot of fun. And then yeah, of course, when you want to talk about Fennec, I at first I didn't really catch it because I didn't remember that whole plot point, but it looked
hmm
like she was already robotic. I didn't realize that that was like done to fix her, so she's almost like Vader now, more
Yeah.
machine than woman.
Yeah. So okay, run it by me one more time, just because I know I'm gonna watch the episode one more time so I can look real carefully. We see footsteps leading away from Fennec in Book of Boba Fett. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about in Mandalorian we see
And
footsteps?
in Mando, you see feet walk up to her, and all you see is the feet in his robe. It's a black robe, but
hmm
we never, and they just never followed up with that in the show,
Okay. Okay.
and it's
Huh.
Boba.
And that's
So
it, and it, wow, that's so crazy that they would have done that so long ago, knowing what to do with it. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's wild. Yeah, I think
Wow.
Favreau directed this episode, so it would
hmm
make sense because he was so heavily involved
Yeah,
with Mando.
man.
Wild,
Yeah,
wild.
Famper's a genius, dude.
He really is. Another fun little detail that I didn't notice until I checked it out online. Um, because she has those modifications.
Mhm.
You remember in the last episode when that guy that comes up to Boba and Fennec and asks for their help to stop the gang of youths from
Yes.
stealing or whatnot. He makes a comment how they're mods, almost like a racist would say about like some sort of minority, like oh they're mods. And so Fennec
Okay.
sort of looks at Boba and sort of makes a face at him.
Yeah.
And she's a mod, so it's
Yeah. Yeah. I caught that vibe when they were talking about that as well. But I I didn't know how to make it a talking point last episode, so I didn't bring it up. But yeah, she is a mod. She's crazy modded.
crazy modded. Yeah, that
What
that
did you
was
think
just
of that mod parlor, by the way? I'm curious what your opinion was about that.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, that whole scene where he shows up and he's like, "I need help," and she's about to die, just throws him some credits. He's like, "All right, man," almost like I don't even know. Yeah, it was pretty cool. What about you?
I like the idea of it. I think that the execution is a little bit cheesy, which is not to say it's bad. I mean, there's a lot of cheese in Star Wars, but like I think that it kind of, I don't think it suits this show's mood, but I get that they have to have something in that play because he has to fix Fennec somehow, right? So like
It is a little
they they have to go down that rabbit hole.
it is a little convenient, but we know in Star Wars that you can do that. You know, Luke's hand, Anakin's
Right.
arm, Maul's lower half, right? Like we know that people
Yeah.
can people can
Most of them
mod
all.
themselves. Yeah, so it is a
Yeah.
little convenient that it happened to be in the middle of the desert in Tatooine, but part of Star Wars
Yeah,
lore.
I think that my issue with it is that it's more like steampunky than like space fantasy, but like
Yeah,
I mean it's the same it's always been. We're just getting a much more up close look at it. And
yeah.
maybe it's the music that's doing it for me because it's kind of like some cheesy like steampunky music, but I don't know. I think that and the biker gang, which also has mods, I think they don't fit the show as well as maybe Favreau wanted them to. Just my
Hmm.
opinion, just one man's opinion.
That's fair. It's almost like we talked about it a few weeks ago, the 50s diner in Attack of the Clones. It's like this doesn't fit here at all.
No,
Why
it
was this
doesn't.
done?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yep.
So I sort of hinted at it. Um, I want to get your thoughts. I mean, I think this one's obvious, but they are going to need some help
Mhm.
to take on the Pike Syndicate and
Yeah.
the whole Pike Syndicate. They very heavily hinted at Mando coming back. I think most people assumed he'd be in this some way. Do you think
Hmm.
we're going to be seeing him join the fight?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Yeah. Maybe even as early as next episode. Yeah.
I think so too. I don't think that they would have hinted at that with his theme if he wasn't going to be in the next episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think that
I'm looking
he's
forward to it,
joined
man.
by Bo-Katan?
Um, I'm trying to think timeline where we'd be. Are we after season 2 of Mandalorian in the present day timeline?
Absolutely, yeah,
Probably.
because he helped them
Oh yeah,
get
we have to
into
be.
the
Yeah, yeah,
ship.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm. Maybe. Maybe. I go as far as to say yes. Yeah, because why not? Why not? Because they should be putting as many recognizable faces in here as they can. I mean they're gonna show. I mean Bo-Katan's gonna pick up in whatever Ahsoka or whatever show she's gonna be in next. So, it's not like they're sunsetting that character or anything. So yeah, I think if
saw
it makes
rumors she's going
sense,
to get her own show.
cool. I'm all for it. I'd rather see that than some of the ones that are already announced. I think that'd make a really,
Andor.
really good show. Yeah. I'll watch it, but like, man, a
No
Bo-Katan
one
show?
asked
That's
for it.
rad.
No one asked for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Bo-Katan would be sweet. I really hope that rumor's true. But I saw the other day that it looks like they might be doing that. It might be in development. So please, God, put that in development. We want to see it. I'm wondering if they just go really crazy with this. Probably not. It's probably just going to be Mando and that's it. But what if they hire other bounty hunters? What if they hire a live action Cad Bane to help out?
Or a Hondo Onaka. Yeah, I've been thinking about it too, man. There's so many really good specifically animated characters that could find their home here in this next episode coming up. I I think that I would rather see Mando and Bo Katan, but if they're gonna go big, if they're gonna go really big, I would like to see a live action Hondo. I don't know why I'm so attached to it, but I am.
I like Hondo. He was such a fun character in Clone Wars and Rebels.
Hmm.
I think Cad Bane kind of makes sense. I mean, the last time we saw him was in Bad Batch. Obviously, he and Fennec were directly fighting each other. We don't know what
True.
happened after that, though. So maybe there was some sort
Hmm.
of reconciliation. They're all bounty hunters
They're
too.
bounty
So
hunters, man. That's the name of the
yeah,
game.
exactly. So I think that would be pretty sweet if he popped in. I've always wanted a live action Cad Bane, especially after seeing it pop up last year in Bad Batch. This is a
Yeah.
really great spot to do it. I agree. Hondo Naka would be a lot of fun. Safe bet on Mando.
Hmm.
And I don't think that Bo Katan is out of the realm of possibility.
I'd be a little worried that they do Bo Katan or not Bo Katan, Cad Bane bad, just because of how he is, how he looks, like that. I don't know if that'll translate to live action well. I hope that he's in it, and I hope that they do a good job. But I don't know how they do it.
In Favreau, we trust.
True that, man. Yeah, it's
In
Star Wars.
Filoni, we trust.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm probably more hyped for this coming episode than I've been for any of them so far.
Me too. I talked about it last week. I was kind of hoping this episode would blow it up a bit and give us
Hmm.
more story and all that. And it really didn't. It was more just a catch up. I don't want
Hmm.
to say filler, but filler kind of episode.
Lots of no, there's lots of action, but it's yeah, there's not a whole lot of different angles to see things from. I mean, like it's a very, very like satisfying moment seeing Boba Fett get his ship back, get his revenge on the biker gang. But like that only took up like him getting his revenge took up like what, a minute of screen time, and there was no dialogue. Like it's there's not a whole lot to discuss about it, you know?
Yeah, which is kind of why I feel like it's filler. Not to say it didn't have action. There's plenty of it, and I
Yeah,
agree. The whole spot where they're getting the ship is exciting. Although it's like they're going to get the ship, so I don't
yeah,
how much suspense can you really have here? Whereas, yeah, I thought there was going to be more to that biker gang, and he wiped them out in 30 seconds. And although it was pretty cool, I couldn't help but laugh when I saw it. It was that's just like,
hmm
wow, that was it. But
yeah,
yeah, it just doesn't feel like it moved the story overall on compared to some of the other episodes. We didn't really get much
yeah,
on present day stuff outside of the whole group, the captains all saying, "All right, we won't mess with you," and
yeah,
that's kind of it. And it was like they did that because they sort of had to do it, not because it
yeah.
really does anything for the story.
Hey, they recruited Chrysanthemum. That's something.
Yeah,
That's not nothing.
I was gonna bring that up. I thought that happened sooner than I thought it would.
Yeah, yeah, they really did. I thought they'd go. I thought that they would go like an episode or two without having him in it, so that way there's a little bit of a satisfying, like, oh, he's back moment. But yeah, I'll take it. He's super cool.
I thought they might do a Han Solo with him, where Bubba goes to him and says, "Hey, we need your help," and he's like, "Yeah, I'll piss off," and then he shows up at the end. That's what I thought they would do. But no, this is cool. The
That'd be
more of him, the
cool. That'd be
better.
cool too. Yeah, I think
But
so
what,
too. It looks
speaking
so
of a
good.
spin-off show,
Oh my god. I don't know how you'd have I don't know how you'd have a main character that can't speak English.
fair, I guess.
But like you said, in Favreau, we trust.
We should talk about that scene real quick. I had to look this up too. I never read the Star Wars comics, but that group of patrons that he eviscerated in that
Yeah.
pub in the cantina, they're called the Trandoshans, and I guess that he actually has beef with them because they are their people, not these specific ones, but their people went to Kashyyyk and slaughtered a lot of Chrysanthemum's people. So
Really? Oh, I'm glad
yeah,
that you
that's
did that deep dive because I just thought he was pissed off and bored and 9 feet tall
wanted
and
to.
here I'm gonna beat some people up.
Right. I think that might have been part of it, right? It's just like,
Yeah.
these
I'm out
guys
of
are
a
just driving me
job. I'm
crazy.
bored. These guys are
Yeah.
annoying.
But when you look at it, man, Boba's tribe. He's got Fennec. He now has Chrysanthemum. He's got 2 Gamorrean guards, 5
Mhm.
gang youths, and a Rancor.
Youths. Yes.
Youths and a Rancor that we got to see a glimpse of scare off those captains.
hmm
Man, he's really building up his tribe. It's really fun to see, and I like that they sort of tied in the Tusken Raiders, where how she said, "Oh, they made you soft." He's like, "No, they made me strong." And you see
hmm
how much value he puts on having a tribe around him, and how that's
hmm
really helping him solidify his, I don't even know what we would call it, not
Yeah.
kingdom, but rule
I
of his area.
yeah, I would have his gang, his posse,
His gang, his posse, his squad,
yeah, I would
squad
have never
up.
guessed that for Boba Fett's character, him liking the tribe mentality because he's a bounty hunter. He's a solo guy, right? I mean, like that's kind of his whole that's any bounty hunter's deal is that they fly around alone, collect their bounty, move on.
Well, and I like the explanation they gave. She's like, "What are you gonna do next?" He's like, "I'm gonna get my armor. I'm gonna become daimyo." And she's like, "Why? Why do that?" Because I'm tired of taking jobs for scumbags when I'm smarter than these people and all those
Scuffles.
examples. Yeah, yeah. So it was really well done, the way that they explained it. And it makes total sense why he'd want to take over. Which I'm glad they did, because going into this, you're kind of like, why would he want to be on Tatooine and take over Jabba's palace? He could go literally anywhere. But
Right.
shoot, at least they did a good job of explaining it.
Yeah. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, but I do want to ask if you heard the news that, and I don't, news is a strong word. The actor who plays Boba Fett was quoted that he would be willing and excited to make live action appearances for clone characters.
For clone characters, I did see that. I also saw, most specifically, talked about Captain Rex, which just has me Rex sighted.
Yeah, man.
It's going to be unbelievable. I'm going to manage my expectations. I will try not to over Rex
Killing
sight
me.
myself.
You're
Before we
killing
Rex
me.
at the podcast, I just got to get a
You're
few more of these
killing
Rex puns off
me.
because Rex would be phenomenal. Well, there's a really good possibility we do see him in Ahsoka if he's going to come back as clones and Captain Rex. So
Yeah, he's got to be in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think
All
that's
right.
all
Let
I
me
have. Do
scan
you
my
have any other notes?
I think. Not really anything worth mentioning. His ship has been surprisingly absent in the present timeline. Have you noticed that?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't really have a reason to use it. You know,
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything there or I don't know. I just something I noticed, thought I'd mention to you.
Yeah, I guess I hadn't really noticed that. I'm glad we got to see it in action in this episode. Like you said,
Oh
you
yeah.
mentioned the scene with the Sarlacc pit, and we saw the scene where he just obliterates those bikers. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
cool to see it back in action. It's one of the cooler, more iconic ships in Star Wars.
hmm It lands with you on your back. It props up, like it's so interesting. Yeah. I think as a
It's
kid, I always visualized like a central cockpit that had like a gyro, like a free moving thing, so that he could just like go in, sit,
yeah,
and then the ship rotates around him. But I think this is pretty cool too. It's a little weird, but like seeing it in action, seeing it like the moment where Fennec takes her seatbelt off when it's like face down and she lands on the glass, it's set up for some really cool scenes already. So
it really
I like
is.
it.
Logistically, it makes zero sense. Like I don't know why an
Yeah.
engineer would make a ship like that, especially when like you could literally you know how it lands, how it's
Yeah.
seated on the back, where you could just take the cockpit and switch it around so that you're looking out that way. It makes
hmm
so much more sense to do it that way, but it's so cool the way that it actually is. So
hmm
I don't know why they did it that way. It was
I
1980.
really,
George Lucas was on
yeah,
some weird drugs, I'm
exactly.
sure, but it
Yeah.
works.
I love all of the crazy, like, why is it this way moments in Star Wars. Like why are the guns for the Millennium Falcon attached to the middle of the bottom on like what the hell's a gonk droid? What are those for? Like who cares? It's Star Wars. It's cool.
I agree. I agree. And that's the thing I will say is the show does a pretty good job of throwing in the little Star Warsy things, the sounds and the visuals and the creatures, the people, the ships. They do a really good job of making it feel very Star Wars. So I appreciate them for that.
Chef's kiss. They're doing so good. They're doing such good work.
They are. They are. As much as I don't, I did like the episode. Didn't love it as much as you did, but I do appreciate it. It was entertaining. I am
hmm
excited to see what they do with it next, and we'll just kind of see where they go with it. There's still so many storylines to follow, and more on who's behind the Pikes, who's really their leader, who
hmm
all Boba and Fennec get to help out. We have 3 episodes left, right? I feel like there's still so much that's just not even known or teased.
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, I'm excited for the next chapter.
Me too. Well, I think we should just put a chef's kiss on the podcast and
Let's do it.
call her here. What do you think?
Yeah. Take us home.
All right, folks. Well, as always, we very, very much appreciate you for spending the time with us, listening to us ramble about Star Wars. If you want to support the podcast, the best way to do so is to share it with your friends, put a link out on your social media accounts, let them know what we're doing. If you want to follow along with us on our social media accounts, the links are in the show notes below. If you're on the YouTube, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell for our subscription so you know when our content drops. And until next time, folks, keep on keeping on.
We will catch you later.